Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and this one is pretty much on the fly, man. This is all still kind of developing. It's just a pretty impromptu, pretty insane situation. I actually got home and I hopped on Twitter before I was going to record some other videos today, and I ended up seeing this news, and I thought that it was a prank at first, right? Because, sometimes, TMZ will accidentally publish like a hoax death, or some fake Twitter account will come out and, pretend to be like a media outlet or something and just, troll everybody. But apparently it's real. There's a lot of sources confirming it now. I guess like his county's coroner's office even has like a registration for him. So Twomad, the YouTuber, has passed away as of, well, yesterday, I believe, is when this was all figured out and discovered by his local police, who, according to the media, they did like a welfare check on him because Twomad hadn't really talked to anybody or went to any of his appointments that he had scheduled for several days. And I guess the police went to do a welfare check on him and they found him dead in his house. He was 23 years old when he passed away, and it's a pretty wild situation because obviously Twomad was a massive creator on the platform at one point in time. He had millions of subscribers. So this is somebody that like a lot of people obviously knew about, a lot of people watched, a lot of people supported, a lot of people hated. We'll really kind of talk about all that in this video, but just to kind of confirm everything here and give you guys the full details, let's take a look at the report on this whole thing. Modea Sadiq, that's I believe his legal name, a popular YouTuber who goes by Twomad Online, has died, TMZ has learned. Law enforcement sources tell us the internet personality who has millions of followers across his various YouTube channels and social pages was found unresponsive Tuesday night at his Los Angeles area home. This after somebody called in to ask for a welfare check. We are told Twomad hadn't been heard from in several days by concerned parties, and he even missed appointments. As a result, the LAPD, I believe that's supposed to say, was sent to check on him, and that's when they found his body, although it's unclear how long he had been in that state. Our sources say there was drug paraphernalia found on the scene, and at this point we're being told it's investigated as a possible overdose. No foul play is suspected in the death. So from what we know right now, it's not believed he was murdered or hurt by anybody else. It looks like he overdosed on drugs. It doesn't say what drug he may have overdosed from or like what kind of drug paraphernalia was found at the scene. I mean, you got to think like drug paraphernalia in terms of legal stuff, it can mean anything from like a bong for weed to like a crack pipe to like needles, you know what I mean? We really don't know. It doesn't say anything about that. I'm going to go ahead and assume that for him to pass away from like a drug overdose, it had to have been like pills or like something pretty hardcore like narcotics or opiates or something like that, right? Because I mean, like people aren't out here overdosing off of blunts, I figure if it was like alcohol or something, they would say it was like an alcohol poisoning death or something. So for him, unfortunately, it looks like this was a pretty serious fatal drug overdose, and the internet has completely blown up over this entire thing. Like I said, this guy had millions of followers pretty much across like Twitter. I think he had a Discord. Obviously, he did YouTube and whatnot as well. But there has been a pretty massive online reaction to this news. There's a lot of people who are showing their condolences, their sympathies to Twomad for passing away. And then there's a lot of people who are actually like celebrating the news, who are really, it seems like, excited that he passed away. Now, obviously, pretty much anytime anyone passes away online, you're going to have like people who just, they want to like stand out, or they think that it's funny or whatever. They say, oh, I'm glad he's dead, things like that, right? But the reason why in this instance people are apparently like happy that Twomad passed away is because there were some pretty serious allegations against this guy. I mean, I think it was like 6, maybe 8 months ago at this point. There was an entire situation that blew up. It was probably like one of the real last big Twomad stories, honestly. I already made a whole video talking about that. It's on my channel. If you want to, get the prerequisites on that whole thing, you can go watch all that. But it was pretty serious allegations. Twomad never really, it seems like, responded to them very well. He just like constantly schizo posted on Twitter and stuff like that. So I don't know if we're ever going to hear his side of the story for real when it comes to that one, at least, especially now that he's passed away. I mean, if he hasn't published anything now, or he hasn't like scheduled anything to go out or whatever, I don't really see how that's gonna really ever be cleared up on his end. And then right after he passed away, another pretty massive allegation actually came out. And before I even get into this, there's a lot of people who are mad that this allegation was put out so close to his death, I guess. Keep in mind, I'm not the one who published this allegation. one, I mean, this guy already put this all out here. I feel like I'd be doing a disservice to make a video talking about this whole situation. And then one of the biggest elements of the entire, like, controversy, and then now his passing and everything, right? Like, it would be, I feel like, irresponsible for me to not cover this, considering how viral it's going and how serious of an allegation it is, and how it somewhat lines up with some of the things that we've already heard. I do want to point out also, the person making these allegations did not post any proof alongside them, right? And that's not to discredit the allegations or whatever, it's just to say, right, like, there is no concrete proof other than this person basically saying it happened, and I guess like some coincidences or some of the details lining up with other things. I mean, there's no like phone calls or videos or texts or anything like that, so I can finally say it. Twomad was a rapist and a pedophile. Over the past few years, he tried to murder me multiple times for helping the police and detectives in multiple states for investigating a lot of the horrible things that he's done. He wanted to take out multiple innocent lives by getting behind a wheel and going head-on into freeway while being high on illegal drugs. He didn't succeed once as he overdosed before killing anybody, so he tried it again. Despite him trying to murder me and multiple innocent lives, I've been trying to help law enforcement to make sure he's safe, doesn't get hurt, and doesn't harm anybody. Please remember that he is a rapist and a pedophile. He continued to prey on the vulnerable even after the police got involved, including a 13-year-old in a mental hospital. The tragedy doesn't excuse any of his actions. I will address a lot of stuff when I fully collect my thoughts. Past few months have been a total mess and reason why I ended up in emergency room. Please give me time. So this is Jameski, who this all came out from, right? I don't know if you guys are familiar with who Jameski is, but he is obviously a YouTube content creator as well. And this is, like I said, this is a massive allegation, a very serious allegation, right? Realistically, multiple serious allegations. And like I said, some of these details line up with other things that have happened. Some of it is like pretty fresh, pretty brand new. There is no 100% concrete evidence that is attached to any of this as of me recording this video. I don't know if maybe Jameski will put out a tweet or anything by the time this video goes out. I don't have to worry about monetization filters or anything for this video because that's all turned off. So this video should come out earlier than it typically would. But I mean, where do I even fucking start with this, right? I mean, first, he's obviously accused of being a pedophile, which is, I mean, as pretty much as serious as an accusation you can get. He's accused of being a rapist. He's accused of attempting to murder Jameski multiple times. He's accused of, at that point, trying to hinder a investigation by the law enforcement into him. He's accused of planning to kill several innocent people by going head-on into traffic off of drugs. He's accused of attempting to carry this out. He's accused of harassing a minor in a mental hospital. Like, this is a pretty wild thing to read. I mean, honestly, like, for me right now, this whole situation is still fucking just absurd because, like I said, I get home, I find out Twomad is dead, and then, like, 2 minutes later, there is now a new massive wave of allegations, right, that are so fucking serious and disturbing that it is impossible to not acknowledge, right? Like, if this is true and he did intend on killing other innocent people off of a drug and whatnot in his car, on a freeway, all these different things, right? Like, it's inexcusable. There's no way to defend it. And just because he's passed away doesn't mean that, you know, you can't talk about these things. I get, you know, some people are like, hey, there's a place and a time. Maybe this shouldn't have happened right after he passed away. Maybe this person should have went to the police or whatever. It seems like he did go to the police, right? At least from what we're reading in this accusation, right? He says that he had attempted to murder this guy several times because he was trying to cooperate and help the police. So, I mean, it does sound like to me that this guy did go to the cops and try to do something about this. And, you know, these kinds of things, these kinds of allegations, these kinds of, I guess, names and labels and whatnot being placed on Twomad is why a lot of the internet is happy that he's dead. You know, I've seen a lot of people, like I said, they're expressing their condolences, like, oh, you know, Twomad inspired me to make content. I thought he was a funny guy or whatever, right? Basically saying nice things about Twomad, and then in the replies, there will be people like, oh, but he was a pedophile, dude. Oh, he was a rapist, dude. You know what I mean? So it really just goes to show you, like, how weighted these kinds of accusations really are. That, like, you know, even like an hour or so after we find out this guy's passed away, that, you know, like half of the internet or more is like hyped up that this guy is gone because of these types of allegations and stuff. So The guy does say at the end of the whole thing he's going to be further addressing this. I assume when he says that, he means that he will be posting like some sort of evidence or a video or something where he's kind of describing everything, where he goes through whatever happened. I mean, I hate to be that guy, I really do, because this is a serious allegation, and I'm not saying this to say that this guy is lying, but it is unfortunately something to note that people make false allegations online all the time, and we've seen it happen to other YouTubers. I mean, even recently, we've seen it happen to other YouTubers. So I would love to see some proof for these claims if they're that true, you know, like just to actually verify this is what's going on, because I mean, this guy is dead now. Obviously, he can't defend himself. Even if he could defend himself, as we've seen, he probably would not have really taken the opportunity to do so. Like I said, he had some pretty serious shit going down like half a year ago, right? And we never really got a coherent and, you know, rational response to that, I guess is the best way to say it. Like, he just continued to just tweet random shit and like troll. But like, obviously he doesn't have a chance to respond, so like, if this is all true, I think the best that could be done is for some evidence to be posted. It seems like Jameski's gonna be doing that, but just what a wild fucking turn of events, man. Like, a couple years ago, it seems like everybody loved Twomad, you know, he was like one of those guys who blew up and whatnot and had millions of followers and everybody thought he was funny, and then just from there, it seems like everything kind of went downhill. All the different allegations that were made, all the different situations and stuff. It's just honestly always so weird and surreal to see situations like this. Like, no matter, I don't know, like, no matter what you personally think, like, oh, are you happy that he's passed away? Are you sad? You know, was he a creator you liked, whatever, right? It always feels like a little weird when, you know, you learn about situations like this. I mean, as a YouTube creator in my 20s, right, it always kind of hits weirdly close to home and feels really like odd. And it's almost like eye-opening when you see situations where other YouTubers who are like relatively close to you in age and whatnot, right, seeing them pass away, like, it's a pretty fucking insane thing. Because like, obviously you don't usually hear about like 23-year-old YouTubers passing away, and, you know, especially from a thing like a drug overdose. A lot of people aren't surprised, given that, you know, Twomad was like a really amped up person all the time, and like his sense of humor and whatever, like the schizo posting and shit. But like, I mean, Jesus Christ, it just, what kind of drug was this guy on? Obviously it had to be, once again, something strong to have this whole situation go to where it killed him. But I think that's really a takeaway for everybody here, right? Is stay the fuck away from all these serious drugs, man. Like, there's no good that this stuff can cause you. Whether he was doing heroin, crack, whatever, right? Like, these things, they don't provide you the benefit that people think that they do, right? Now, I love smoking pot, right? That's cool. People love drinking beer and everything. That's fine. But these are things you got to learn to do in moderation. But when it comes to drugs, you know, that are like serious to the point where you can overdose and you can die off of them, man, I don't know. I don't see the point in people doing them. I don't see what it really helps you with, you know? All you're doing is like replacing one problem in your life with a way worse one in so many cases, right? And I mean, just hundreds of thousands of people yearly in America die from drugs, whether they're good people, whether they're bad people, you know, whether they've had accusations made about them online or they've been the most innocent person on the planet, right? Like, this is the kind of situation that happens for, you know, a lot of people in society. And it's one of those things where it should really remind everybody, like, man, as cliche or whatever as it sounds, and I don't want to sound like the fucking, you know, the DARE program in school, but like, dude, just stay away from all this stupid shit. I mean, look how it turns out for people, bro. So obviously, people are going to be expecting Jameski to show some evidence or continue up with what he said. I guess we'll have to wait and see if that comes along. And yeah, with that being said, man, I think that's really all there is to say here. So thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel. Follow me over on Twitter at @SubToOptimus. Make sure to check out Shoptimus down below. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I have other videos coming out today, but this is kind of, like I said, just off the cusp. So with that being said, this is Optimus talking about the Twomad passing and allegations, and signing out. And that's a wrap on this video, but a big shout out to my Optimus Nation supporters. You guys are the real MVPs here. Your support with just $10 a month unlocks a treasure trove of exclusive videos, constantly updated, archived live stream VODs, and early access to all new uploads. Thanks for watching, and see you soon.